Yummy mummy forever.
This episode of Capes and Lunatics is brought to you by Tweaked Audio. Get awesome headphones, go to tweakedaudio.com and use the coupon code Southgate to get 30% off, free shipping, and a lifetime warranty. Or you can get there through the link on our website, southgatemediagroup.com.
This is Jam DeMatteis, and you are listening to the Capes and Lunatics podcast.
This is Luca Burke, and you're listening to the Capes and Lunatics podcast.
There's a thin line between heroism and madness.
Here, the line fades to nothing at all. This is a world of capes and lunatics.
And nothing is off limits.
Hello and welcome back to another frisky Friday night on the Capes and Lunatics. I am Phil, joining as always, that handsome stash from New Jersey. It is
Charlie, the Professor Essa.
And Archie's number one fan, the Queen of the Armadillos in Florida. It is.
Hey y'all, it's Little Hellfire.
I always thought she was more of a Jughead fan.
No, Archie's a redhead. You gotta remember.
That is true.
That is true. In general, but
oh yeah, the imprint. Yes, that is the Archie imprint.
Yeah.
Just like Detective Comics, because everything is about the detective.
Thank you.
More so now than ever.
Thank you, Rob Huzzle.
It's the only thing that's making money.
Poor Wonder Woman.
Poor Superman.
He had his day. Wonder Woman never truly had her day. They just took her for granted. She was a token, I tell you, a token.
Oh.
We'll get into that.
A little bit.
Oh, shit. Oh, that's right. I forgot to even put that on the list. Yeah, should we start there? With Gal
Patty
Gadot?
Jenkins wants to be canceled. She doesn't want to make movies anymore. It's fine, guys. Let's feed right into it. I think that's what she wants.
Well, I was going to say, do you think it's like, is she between like a rock and a hard place? Because like to get a movie made these days, like through like a major, studio.
Honestly, like, I'll tell you, like I said on my Facebook post, I feel like Patty Jenkins was tapped on the shoulder. This is not her passion project. It's not something she's crazy about. But, directors work with people. It's kind of one of those constant processes. She feels she has a good flow with Gal Gadot, but Gal Gadot has her own issues, and Wonder Woman kind of suffered from the issue of Gal Gadot's situation. I'm just saying.
Or is it?
It's not a secret.
Or is it just if you want to get a movie made through one of these big studios? It's like they have a list of like 10 movie stars, and you got to use one of them.
But here's the thing:
mostly directors use who they feel comfortable with.
Let's just this is like on so because like the first level, even before you get into any of the other levels, it is the question: did we need a Cleopatra film?
No, we don't.
Exactly. So I mean, like, we just start with that. Elizabeth Taylor did the Cleopatra thing,
and we don't ever have to talk about it again.
Well, I was gonna say
exactly.
Cleopatra's kind of like Dracula. They make one every generation or every other.
No,
they don't. No, it's not every generation. It's been about 3 generations, to be honest, since that movie came out.
Cleopatra will show up as a character, but I don't think there's been another Cleopatra film since the Elizabeth Taylor debacle, because that thing was like
bloated.
Made them. It was the #1 film that year, and still lost money because of how over budget it was. And so I always thought of Cleopatra as kind of a cursed kind of project to start with.
Exactly. That's why I'm saying it's definitely not her passion project. That's kind of like, the producers. Maybe they just want to take the insurance money out. I don't know.
Yeah, and then, again, the whole...
Then the second level is...
Yeah, the second level, which is... And it's like, no matter... Like, there's like 6 levels of where Gal Gadot is the wrong person. You start with, Egyptian queen, Israeli... There is a little bit of bad blood between the two. You may have even read about it in the Bible.
Exactly.
So even in the most generous gift of where you're at, you're still hitting that. Oh yeah.
Everybody's like, it's the same area. And I'm like, do you even have a map, bro? Do you even know history, bro? Like.
And then,
if it's an American, I'll give them leeway because obviously American U.S. education.
Hey, I'm an American, and I'm
well, you're also at that tail end of where they actually still kind of cared about giving kids actual knowledge and not just propaganda.
Yeah, I know. Well,
you have kids, you know.
Yes.
And here we go.
I will say that. Yeah, this is history, but no, it's just
I'm in the chamber.
It is a situation that just on every
in
level.
Times like this, that's like the third level. It's
yeah. I know, and that's the other aspect. Here's the thing: there will come a time when no one will care again.
So who is putting?
But we can have a Hispanic Joker and a black Catwoman, and nobody bats an eyelash. I live for those days.
It's we will have that Lin-Manuel Miranda world. We're sure why not Thomas Jefferson or Alexander Hamilton was a guy from Puerto Rico. Sure, we'll give it. We'll say that's fine. No. We'll even have a white Sally Hemings. Just really, really mess it up. But, that is not the world we're in today. And so, in the world we're in today, we have to
It's just tone deaf on so many levels. Because, obviously it's got to be a lavish, extravagant production. And movie theaters are hanging on by a thread. We're pretty sure we're not going to have movie theaters by the year 2022. That's not going to save the movie industry.
Yeah, no,
It was Marvel's duty, and they said, nope, Black Widow ain't coming out. Suck it.
Duty.
Oh, man. That's a whole thing.
If the shoe fits, if you step in it.
Could have saved us, Marvel.
But, yeah. And then, like I said, and everyone wants to...
Oh no! I lost my drinking buddy. Damn it! I'm stuck with sober Phil. No!
Oh no! Tristan might have to. Tristan, get
on your phone.
I was gonna say Tristan, man, you can't be live.
Can't be playing. Yeah, can't be live streaming. We're live streaming. Okay, while Charlie's gone, while the adult is gone, any childish things we need to talk about?
Hold on.
Okay.
Back. There you go.
Sorry, I got armadillos in my Wi-Fi.
They travel far and they travel wide, sir. I understand.
These are Jersey armadillos.
They don't play around. Those North armadillos.
After the masses, come on.
Yeah, but it's because it is just problematic, and
just don't do it.
Yeah, don't do it. Don't. It's like not even getting. It's like the race stuff is way more complex, and she still doesn't check those boxes. That's where it gets even like the worst aspect of it, because this is something I pointed out. Greek and Macedonian culture has also been heavily whitewashed.
Yes.
Do you think some suit somewhere was just like, oh, the American public is stupid and she has an accent, so no one will tell the difference?
Well, we saw the difference in Wonder Woman, and there were comments even on this podcast about it.
To the point that they went back and made all the Amazonians take up her accent.
Yes.
But
who's putting out this movie? It
wasn't Warner Brothers. It had to be Warner Brothers, actually, wasn't it? But I don't think that's who had did the actual Cleopatra film. So that's why I was like I thought that was like an MGM.
Well, she's public domain, so. The original one was, I believe, MGM.
That's what I thought. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's MGM is
dissolved, and I don't know. I think it was picked apart, bits and pieces.
Yeah, right now they run casinos mostly. That's where
the money is. So
and for what it's worth, they're doing quite well.
Lovely casinos. Well, always love their casinos.
I'm sure.
Fun fact, they have the actual original lions at the MGM Grand in Las Vegas. And I don't know if they still have it, but they used to have it in the enclosure in one of their
they have actual lions.
No, the actual descendants from the lion that roared.
The descendants of that lion, yes.
That lion's been long dead.
That lion, he retired, as I understand it, and I mean, he ate well in his last years, so good for him on that.
So I don't know. I don't know what they're thinking. I think just Hollywood's just very tone deaf still, and it's unfortunate. And maybe they're getting what they get. Maybe it's comeuppance. I don't know.
Yeah,
I know a lot of regular people eat like key grips and things like that, but
they have other films. They'll make other. Here's the thing: they haven't stopped making movies. You know, they're still having films come out. They're
for now. I mean, we'll always have TV. I don't know about movies at the moment, but we'll always have TV. At least.
Everyone can keep working. All you gotta do is switch out the star. That's it.
Well, exactly.
And like I said, it's just not even that. It's just so many levels of that movie doesn't need to be made, and that's just scratching the surface level.
And I remember I was reading a comment where someone said, "Oh, please don't make Cleopatra a superhero."
Well,
and
guess what, kids?
But that is just this thing. It's like, oh yeah, let's not make Cleopatra a superhero. I mean, you know, a diplomat, and you know,
she is interesting in her own right, but it's just still so much casual misogyny that we'll never get the truth. We'll never get something that's even close to factual. So I'm over it.
Yeah, but we don't need her. You know, we don't need her punching people.
Is Gal Gadot just out of touch? I mean, imagine singing a song during the pandemic. Imagine.
Oh, well. That was a thing. People were doing stuff. Honestly, who knows?
I think 90% of Hollywood is out of touch. If you make if you make over like I don't know, $750,000 a year, you're kind of out of touch.
Well, you know, you got to remember, people in Hollywood, you know, are in the arts.
Bubble.
I mean, it's a different world when what you do for a living isn't 9 to 5.
When you're not paying your own bills and you have someone like handling your money for you, you're out of touch.
Yeah, well that's always true, you know. You have to check your own bank account.
Hollywood has to have a reckoning with itself, and they have to decide what's important. I don't think Cleopatra's an important movie right now.
Yeah,
I just want some original intellectual property. Just give me one, for the love of God, just one.
I forget what I was looking
because even Tenet is basically an amalgamation of everything Nolan has ever done. Well, that to me, that wasn't even an original intellectual property.
Well, that's what I forget what podcast I was listening to, but they were saying, you know, it's like, you know, all these studios are like, okay, let's
take a gamble. You got the money, let's do it.
Well, it's like they're always like, well, you know, what's easier, building this brand no one's ever heard about before into something, or taking an established.
I know I'm sick of Marvel and DC movies,
even if it's just the name.
Well,
and I'm not the only one.
Well, even other things too, when they did the female Ghostbusters, they're like, okay, well, people know the name Ghostbusters, but we can spin a whole new thing out of it. But we use it.
Okay,
but here's the thing. Here's the thing. First off, you know, you can say, "Oh, I want original content." No, you don't.
Yeah,
nobody really wants to take a risk.
That's why I read so many books and don't watch TV anymore.
Even books.
Well, come on.
So, as an example, one of the new original shows out there right now is a great show everyone should watch called Lovecraft Country.
But that's based on a book.
Well, it's based on of course it's based on a book.
It's based on a book, based on Lovecraft's
exactly.
universe.
It is an original. It's an original piece that is built off of. I mean,
nothing's original. I get your point, but you know what I mean. You don't have to.
Yeah, I mean, you want someone to, but that's the thing. So, like, even if so,
and it's doing well.
You know, and so as another example, you have something like Enola Holmes, which is a great
based on a book, series of books.
Oh, that is based on a book?
Yes, it's based on a series of YA books. Mm-hmm.
Great show, though. But yeah, but again, it's the idea of grafting something onto a known property that you can then build off of. So, you know, because people want to know something of what they're getting when they buy it. You know, generally speaking, people don't want to be the first person to eat a snail. Now, once
I don't know about that, Charlie. I don't know. Maybe
once you're told snails are good, people are into eating snails. But the fact of the matter is, the first time that someone puts a snail on a plate, a lot of people are going to be a little freaked out by it. You know, they need to have the people want to know. People want to be adventurous, but they also want to know what they're getting. I'm going to do what I want to do.
I think the world is changing and people aren't just keeping up. Like, there's tons of people who want to be on the bleeding edge of cool, the bleeding edge of whatever, and that's just a bigger,
that is such
market.
a bad thing. Who likes to bleed?
Oh, well, don't kink shame. There's plenty of people. I'm just saying.
Okay, well, fair enough. But again, to make the larger point, when you talk about the mass market.
Well, and like I said, it's growing. So it's like, I just feel like everybody's getting kind of out of touch. They don't understand things as much as they think they do.
Well,
and that's why Netflix is, their viewership's down, because there's, watch, rinse, repeat. And then they cancel all the things that people... And Netflix has a weird way of canceling things and why they cancel things. So.
Well, this year has just destroyed every model and, every...
But they had that problem way before this.
Yeah, this year has really shined the light on all the crap.
I'm really shocked that I'm not okay with this. And what was that zombie one?
Oh wow, Daybreak was It did. That one, I know nobody was talking about on YouTube. That's how you can kind of judge if a thing is going to probably get renewed. If there's a lot of people on YouTube talking about it, probably going to get renewed. If not,
but you know what I think the problem with Netflix is, and I think all streaming services, which is that people tend to come to stuff late. And by the time people are like, "Oh yeah, this is really good," it's something like The Awesomes, which sat in my queue. Hulu kept on telling me, watch The Awesomes for like a year. Finally, I watched it. I loved it. There were already 3 seasons. I was so excited every time the new seasons would come out. And it gets canceled, but it's probably because it took people time to get to it.
Well, no, they market what they want to market is the thing.
Or I know it still did its ratings, but like The Boys season 1, they dropped the whole season at once. Season 2, after the
first piecemealed it. They have to because of the content. Had this not happened though, had we not been in this situation, they would have dropped the whole season.
I don't know.
I think slow casting is coming back because people understand that. First off, it keeps people engaged. It allows people to talk about things.
I don't know. Some of the people were just like, "Man, I don't like this. I'm just going to wait till the season."
Yeah, like once you get used to being able to binge, and because those are just very digestible bites.
But they'll grow out of it.
No, plenty of adults who have things to do that don't want to wait around weekly.
Those millennials
just rather binge it on a weekend and be done with it. I'm 12. We need me to be 12.
No, with Hellfire, no commercials.
Exactly.
Okay, well, fair enough.
It's an instant gratification kind of world. Blame smartphones, bro.
Well, I don't know what to tell you. And that's a reality. And
I'm thirsty for it, bro.
I'm just saying. Let me put it to you this way. I think from the company's perspective, making you wait is good for them.
And again, this year, they don't.
Yeah, like I said, I'm honestly. As soon as things are back to normal, we're going to be back to binge, screw your slow cast stuff.
Whoa!
I don't know. I see, that's the thing. I think, because you're assuming that they care what you think.
Whoa.
They care that you like it. They care that you pay for it. They don't care whether or not you're happy in the way that you're being given your they don't care about the service time. They care that you're coming back to the
restaurant. They turned around Lucifer pretty fast and then greenlit a 6th season that said wasn't happening. I'm just saying, for streaming services in particular, they have to be flexible. They have to be adaptive. They have to move with how their market is moving, or they die. Look at you, Crackle.
Whoa.
Sorry, who?
Exactly. It's a Sony product. Exactly.
Oh, Crackle. Yeah, that's still a thing.
It's still trying desperately to be a thing. Yes, sir.
Okay, yeah.
But yeah, TV's a mess. Entertainment is a mess. Read a book. Read a book.
Oh, but hey, do you want to talk this? You want to talk?
Take a look. It's in a book.
You want to talk some good news? Which I'm sure will make little Hellfire's day.
Probably not. But go ahead, sir.
Well, did you see the announcement? I just saw it today, so I think it's brand new. Do you see the Michael B. Jordan thing?
Yeah, about Static Shock. Okay.
He's producing Static Shock.
Oh,
that's
Now, is that going to be a live action Static Shock? Is it going to be an animated Static Shock?
I thought it said theatrical release, so I assumed it was live action.
That's not a thing anymore. Stop it.
Spider-Verse is a theatrical release, but it's still animated.
If it's not out till 2022 or 2023, it could be a theatrical release. Well, if there's a theater left, but
that's what I'm saying.
There will be
theaters. We're putting our eggs in this basket, and there's no basket. handbasket.
Well,
it's in hell right now. Okay, guys.
Hey,
the handbasket is in hell.
Hey,
there's no basket.
They always have the fallback of streaming, I guess.
Oh, which I think HBO Max is gonna take off. I think if they just say we're not gonna do movie theaters, we're gonna just stream this thing. We got to get numbers. We got to get butts and seats.
That everyone.
But I don't know how I feel about that. Like Michael B. Jordan, it's a whole thing. It's a whole thing. That's almost as bad as Will Smith or The Rock saying they want to produce it at this point. Black people are like, nah, we're good.
Why? As an old white man, I don't understand what's wrong with Michael B. Jordan.
He's problematic on a couple of levels that I won't get into right now.
Oh, really?
But yeah. So
I get the feeling everyone's problematic.
No, it's not everybody. There's plenty of unproblematic faves that I have, but he is problematic. And if you want to Google it.
I don't have time to Google people.
Whoa.
He said Google, not ogle.
Yeah, no, I mean, you know.
But good for him. I hope that it turns out well. I'm kind of over the whole Static Shock hype. They waited too long. They sat on it.
Yeah, because when was that animated series? I mean,
literally, they had the whole lawsuit over Wildstorm, which I think is probably why they tried to announce this to do that whole thing. And
yeah.
So yeah, it's just the whole thing with Static Shock right now that I just don't have a good taste in my mouth about it. But for the Static Shock fans, very happy for you guys. For Michael B. Jordan fans, very happy for you guys.
Yeah. I just know that back in the 90s, it was a very famous TV show.
Not quite like BoJack, but yes. Actually, that was the early 2000s, right?
Was that?
I think
it was early 2000s.
No. I was still in Michigan. It had to be the 90s.
Mandela effect?
All right, let me look this up. Because I'm pretty sure Lil's right in with like early 2000s. Static Shock.
I think it was late 90s, but
it was 2000 to like 2005, right?
No, it wasn't 2005.
Yes, it was because Batman Beyond was out and they did crossovers with Justice League the Unlimited series and stuff, so it had to be around that time. Might even push it to 2006, maybe.
It's in the year 2004 season, so what that'd be what 2000? Yeah, from September 2000 to May 2004. So
okay, so I stand corrected as usual.
Bro, that was like my prime time, like cartoon time. So back when DC was good in animation. Come on, Justice League Unlimited. You had Batman the animated series, followed by Superman the animated series.
Batman
and then you had Justice League Unlimited, and then also the original Young Justice season 1.
Batman Beyond, all that stuff.
Yeah, all that good stuff. And they used to do crossovers. I just miss it. And I think Amazon Prime still has all of that stuff, if I'm not mistaken. I know they have Young Justice seasons 1 through 3. 2.
Aren't those on HBO Max too?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't use HBO Max.
It's a weird transition.
I have it, but I don't use it. So.
I haven't looked for those on HBO Max because there's still some stuff on.
I bought the seasons on Prime. That's the only reason why I know I had.
Yeah, I was gonna say there's still stuff on DC Universe. I know, so it's kind of weird. So I don't know. Yeah. I don't know if everything hasn't transitioned over yet. I don't think.
So DC Universe is still a thing, huh?
Infinity
it's just gonna be comics eventually, but yeah. But I mean,
it's what it always should have been. They knew that Warner Media app was coming. I don't understand.
It's like, why didn't the Stoots or somebody tell them, wait or something?
I'm just going to say my return to the finance world and just seeing how people are running their business. Fortune 500 companies are running their business with the stuff that I have to deal with. It is eye-opening and absolutely jaw-dropping.
There is a business strategy. There is a strategy where you have multiple people in your company working on parallel projects to see who does it better.
You don't ship it live like the way they did. That's all I'm
not saying. I mean, honestly, it's a strategy that was utilized by people who were not necessarily the best managers, but it does produce certain kinds of results
And we see what kind of results that worked out for.
It's like I've heard it done in the past. I know what they're trying to do.
Like, A/B testing doesn't work on streaming services. I'm sorry. You can A/B test your websites all you want to. It won't work for a streaming service.
Anyway, but yeah, but that's DC Universe and HBO Max, and
it's just AT&T, Time Warner.
Yeah, well, and to be fair, it was a lot of pieces that were. And here's the thing. Here's actually the other way to look at it. There were a lot of pieces that were trying to merge, but that all knew they might get spun off. In fact, they all might get spun off next year anyway. If we start having actual antitrust legislations coming in. And so you
oh, my sweet summer child. And look, guys, I hate to break it to you, but I hope you know Trump's getting reelected. So
don't say that.
I'm just telling y'all.
No, well, Lilith is Lilith's a nihilist. That's fine.
Yeah, I am. It is true, but I'm being a pragmatist too. I'm just letting you guys know. Hey, man.
Yeah.
I would bet $100 that he gets reelected.
I only gamble on the lotto, but that's okay, Lilith. I do not think. I mean, not to get into any details on it, but I think it is highly. Well, actually, let me not say it's highly unlikely, because actually, since I actually am getting more and more to the point where I'm starting to think, well, wait, is he the Antichrist? Are these the end times?
It is the end times. This is what I'm saying. I totally agree.
Let me put it this way. I'm okay with it just being, oh, yeah, it's the environmental degradation of the planet. But when you actually get into this Christian mythology end times, then I'm like, well, wait, is it though? And so that's a little weird for me, and I'm like,
I'm ready for it, bro. Just bring it on, dude. I'm just over it.
No, because that's like
I'm building my cabin in the woods. I don't.
But see, that's the thing. Is like if it's the actual Christian end times, that's not the thing. That's like 7 years, and then we go to heaven, and then.
If you were a good boy or girl, and then, guys, I was not.
See, that's the common misconception. It's actually about how you see your fellow human being, and if you recognize.
Oh, I'm really going to hell.
Okay, that I can't speak to.
The only thing possibly saving her is her love of animals. That's the only.
Exactly. Like, see all these puppies I have.
I think you're a nice person, though, if you've never punched me in the face. So,
well, you're not a Nazi, so you don't deserve it.
Well, exactly. Well, that's the thing. If that's your line, that I only punch Nazis, that actually is good enough to get you into heaven. That's my thing. It's like, if you're punching just everybody every day, then you might not get into heaven. But I think if you're actually someone who can see humanity in your fellow man, where you're not, and it's all right to think the worst of other people. Everyone does that from time to time. But, unless you are actively seeking to hurt other people, I think that is what, and this is just, philosophy and end time stuff. And this is not at all comic book related to Phil. We've gotten way off.
It's pop culture. We mentioned the Cheeto.
Really, we can go all Kirk Cameron here.
Whoa.
That guy is going to the lake of fire. Let me tell you that right now.
Ouch!
Wow. Yeah, I'm just saying, like, if that's the thing, it's like if Christian end time mythos is real, I just look at the people I know who are, end times people. I'm like, dude, read your own literature, man. It's like you are marching right into that lake, right now, man.
Again, Charlie, it's not the end times. We're safe. Come on, the Antichrist, and then the Antichrist hired a porn star to pee on him.
Well, actually, yeah, that's.
He's too stupid. He's too stupid.
I'm not gonna be
stupid like a fox.
Look, you can go to my Facebook page. There's an article there where a guy who kind of breaks it down, who's like, a former evangelical, and then he's like, breaks down this stuff, and he's like, you really start to get worried when you're like, when you've actually left that whole line of thinking in the past is end times, Antichrist. Yes, silly. And then you're like, well, okay, now maybe. When you had people calling Obama the Antichrist, it was ridiculous. Even Reagan as the Antichrist was actually kind of ridiculous. Trump, it was kind of ridiculous. He wasn't
okay, kind of, but you can see the
because here's what I'm going to say. Right now, we can definitely say Ronald Reagan was not the Antichrist. There were things that could make you worry about him, but he really wasn't the Antichrist. So good on us for that. Bill Clinton, definitely not. Obama certainly wasn't. But Obama, you were just grasping at straws. And then Donald Trump cheering like, well, God of fortresses.
It's time, guys. Let's just give into it. Be a nihilist. It's time. Say goodbye. Wrap it up. I'm ready.
Okay.
This happy message of puppies and rainbows brought to you by the Capes and Lunatics podcast.
Okay, let's talk something fun. The Boys season 2 finale, and also, like I said, I'm so excited because they're giving us a little more hints about what Jensen Ackles is going to be doing as Soldier Boy. They've been kind of doing some interviews that I saw on YouTube and stuff, so I'm like super excited for season 3.
Okay. Here's my big thing. I need this in season 3, and Phil knows because I
saw your Facebook post. If it's going for Namor, I agree.
I want freaking, and I said Namor only because I couldn't fit Aquaman and still have the fancy background. I want freaking anchor hand, eye patch, full beard, Jason Momoa the Deep. Riding freaking gargantuan leviathans, smashing whaling vessels. I want him this kind of freak. I want to see this, and I have this all in my mind. It's just this brilliant idea of him like essentially building his own Atlantis and just a bunch of mind-controlled fish all around him. Telling him how great he is the whole time. I want that scene with him at the bottom of the ocean. And like I said, I want a scene where Homelander comes to fight him, and once Homelander's in the water, he just pulls him down, and Homelander's out of his element, and he's just wailing on Homelander. I want that. Like, maybe Homelander gets away, but I want Homelander to know,
once again,
come to my turf.
Aquaman can go toe-to-toe with Superman, just
yes,
in case
he can.
Don't know.
I saw
the Triton can pierce his skin.
And the
so
deep,
I'm just saying.
And the deep
I'm here for it.
And the deep like people to go down. Yes.
Yeah, I mean, man. Could you imagine, like, the Deep just takes him down to, volcanic vents at the bottom of the ocean?
This whole season's been very interesting and very thinly, and I mean the thinnest of thinly veiled allusions to our real world. Looking at you, Church of Scientology, like, holy crap. I was like, they went there. Garth and Enos and freaking Eric Kripke don't care.
Oh, yeah. Well, of course, here's a fun prediction for you. I bet you that guy comes back. His head exploded, but he comes back.
I like the twist they did on Senator Newman because, if you read the comics, he's like the airheaded puppet vice president. And they give her, and she's got powers, and she's definitely on a mission. I know. So I like that twist.
They have, and by the way, spoilers. Spoilers for Full Stream Ahead because this is the next show we're doing. But what I'm going to say is they are breaking the mold of what they did before, and that's great. And they're pulling from other places. They're making this a pastiche. So The Boys is a pastiche of the superhero comics, much in the same way that Watchmen was a pastiche, yada, yada, yada. This is a pastiche of modern superhero fiction, modern superhero movies and television shows.
Absolutely. I love the girls getting done montage at the end. Totally a shot at freaking Marvel.
Well, and here's the thing. The character that I think is going to be the most important in the next season is going to be Black Noir. because Black Noir is their Deadpool. And I'm gonna go right now and say because Black Noir is silent, but in his head he's Deadpool. And I'm gonna tell you right now, he is the whole time he's breaking fourth walls and he's making all this meta commentary in his head, but he can't speak.
Oh no, they're gonna give him an artificial healing factor to get over his peanut allergy.
No, he does have a healing factor. We've already seen that. That's established.
Doesn't work on that peanut factor.
Yeah. No, well, no, he got better from the peanut too. But
nuts.
Yeah. But and again, are you going to tell me that Deadpool having a nut allergy is not something that would absolutely be in the comic books?
Oh.
Exactly. He is.
I don't think he has an allergy. I think he has an affinity for it. Boom.
Boom. Boom. Yes. But yeah, the idea that he is he's meant to be a Deadpool pastiche. And he's a Deadpool pastiche because we see that he has the decayed skin, but he also has an incredible healing factor because we see that basically he gets blown away. He was killed by the female Kimiko prior to in their first fight, and then they both got back up. The difference is that Kimiko heals like Wolverine, and Black Noir heals like Deadpool. And that's why Black Noir is crying in the scene when they reveal the Compound V. Or maybe he's laughing because I think that he knows he's fictional. He knows his life is a joke. And now he knows, and also someone did this to me. It's not that I was born a joke. It's that someone injected me with this stuff to make me a joke. And that is... So there's going to be at least one episode next season that's going to be called it's going to be I know it's maybe going to be called Film Noir.
They've been using the titles of the comic books, so I forget if they have anything Black Noir centric in the title of the comic books, but I'm pretty sure they do. So it'll be that.
I mean. And what is telling is that their Black Noir is a completely different Black Noir than the comics Black Noir.
Absolutely, because he's not eating babies that we know of yet.
Exactly.
When he was in the room with the kid, I was like, are they going to do it? It's the boys. They can do it. They don't care about kids. They pushed the kid off the roof.
Yeah, people getting attacked by penises. Come on.
Oh, yeah. Man, I was like, oh, it's not a tentacle, but close enough.
Yeah,
and that was the same week that Lovecraft Country had done like tentacles. So it was a big week in TV for me that week.
I don't think those are tentacles.
Yeah, but but that's the boys. It is.
That is the boys.
Love Sausage. He's a good character.
I thought it was gonna be because I don't know if guys know about Mother's Milk in the comic book, but I thought it was gonna be his mom's boob. I'm like, they got his mom locked up in there because he can't survive without his mom's breast milk. That's why they call him Mother's Milk in the comics. So
he can't.
That's like a whole thing. Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, like I said, no, they just gave him massive OCD.
Yeah.
No, they gave the breast milk or the milk fetish to
Homelander.
Yeah. So they're playing.
Well, that's a whole other. He's got a whole list of fetishes.
I can do what I want. I can do anything I want.
True narcissism, by the way. Just true.
Yeah, and
most truest definition.
And for what it's worth, that's because it is exactly his powerlessness. Because that's the thing. They still don't know who's the head exploder, who again, and this is my statement, this is a take from Millar's Super Criminals. Great series, one of Millar's best. Highly recommend everyone read it. Where the big behind the scenes villain is someone who literally makes people's heads explode. And just that choice to go there with the idea of someone that can just, think of you and make your head explode. That is
the superpower we all really wish.
I was going to say
in company meetings.
We'll on the switch.
Yeah, but just that idea that So what we know is they're going to pull from other books. They're going to pull from other characters and stories, and they're going to tell their own pastiche of of the world that they're working with, you know.
And they pretty much confirmed that spoilers, what's her face isn't dead.
Who?
The Nazi, Storm.
They didn't confirm. Oh, she isn't dead.
No, they said she's not dead. I mean, you
she's
saw
just not going to have hands or something. Like
yeah,
that.
she doesn't have arms or legs, but they said. I guess there was an article.
They said she's in prison, but you know, they also said that, you know, freaking Translucent was in Kandahar, so you know it's.
Well, no, supposedly they said the producers were saying yes, she's not dead, but
okay, well, she's
which is a bummer.
Yeah, she should be.
Well, hey, it might be better this way. She's, you know, she's armless, legless,
truly helpless.
Pain,
yeah,
probably in complete pain. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Well, you know, the thing with her is, first off, and like, just because that's the thing, it's, you know, and I got into a whole thing where she was like, people like what I say, they just don't like the word Nazi, and it's like, yeah, they like what you say because you don't say Nazi, because Nazi is a deal breaker for most people. Because as soon as you start saying Nazi, then everyone knows, oh, so that means I really can't actually be a part of your group because I
not
am
in public.
Well, you know, but that's the thing, and that's, you know, and that's why they got a short, dark-haired,
unless
dark-eyed,
it's 22. I mean, unless it's the year 2020. You know.
You know, no, but the idea is, you know, that basically the Aryan ideal is the short, dark-haired, dark-eyed person who thinks they're the Aryan ideal, and that's Stormfront. You know, she's a dumpy. You know, she's a little dump truck.
It's fine. We get it. We
get it. And yeah, so she's. But like I said, and of course, you know, I'm really intrigued to see what's going on with Mr. Edgar.
Yes. Oh, my favorite character. Like, no lies.
And I think they're going to make him the ultimate Nick Fury kind of character, where he was a POW camp guy who was experimented on, and that's why he's not afraid of any of these people, because he actually has powers as well.
Ooh, nice.
I actually thought that
his Carlo powers. Yes, I'm here for it.
Yeah. Well, you know,
He's gonna be playing both sides against each other, probably.
Well, for money, for profit, because you know, at the end of the day, Pharma is actually the big evil. You see.
Well, you know, I mean, well, it's just the system. The system must continue, and you know,
capitalism is all about crushing souls.
Well, it's crushing souls is a side effect of me. It's like, you know, do you get wine unless you crush the grapes? No. Do you get omelets without breaking eggs? No. It's, you know, this
exactly.
This is the process. But in the case of him, I don't know what his power was going to be. I thought him being the head exploder was going to be a cool twist. That, again, spoilers, is not the twist. And they haven't really revealed what his twist is. But the idea that he was
it's been a week, Charlie. They had their time.
You know, yeah. But, like, season 3 is going to be awesome. And things I want is Edgar's powers revealed. I want the Deep becoming a
redemption
real
for
threat.
The Deep?
No, I don't want redemption. I want him to become a full-on
You just want him. You just want to fight between him and Homelander.
Well, no, I want him to. I don't even need the Homelander fight. I just need him to be a full-on supervillain. I want him to be
stupid and pretty to be a supervillain.
I was going to say,
the whole thing.
Smart.
Well, but that's the thing. Hey, you know, that's what they said about Dr. Doom.
Did they know? Because we all know he's actually not as handsome as he says he is. So
I know. He's.
As a Doom fan, I can say that. Don't ask me.
Well, I guess, like, you know, to go back to our previous conversation, you don't have to be smart to mess up the world. So
yeah.
Yes.
I'm just saying, you know, and yeah, you know, Doom's a dropout, but a dropout with delusions of grandeur can be dangerous. You know, that's the point.
Oh yeah,
in a fake royal title, sure.
You can steal that stuff, Lilith. That's my point.
And superpower money, yeah.
And you know, not to be rude about it, but you know what's at the bottom of the ocean? Lots and lots of Spanish gold.
Ooh, okay, I see you. I see.
Yeah, I want. You know, you can just absolutely see freaking, you know, Deep Enterprises. You know, Or maybe they'll call it like they can't call it Oracle, but call it like Circe Enterprises or Delphi Enterprises. You know, they're like, what's this company Delphi that's just taking over everything? And it's like, yeah, I pulled up $8 billion worth of gold of Spanish doubloons from the bottom of the ocean because I'm freaking the deep. And
I would like that a lot, but like I said, you know, they play to that typecast. He's too stupid and pretty to do such a thing. That would be cool. And I'm just so proud of Eric Kripke too. Like, as a Supernatural fan, long-suffering Supernatural fan, I'm just so happy because all his other shows got canceled. You know, that one about where the power went out, and a really good Legends of the Legends knockoff Timeless. I like Timeless a lot too. That was fun. So I'm proud of him. I'm happy for him. He's got a real bona fide smash hit.
Yeah, well, you know, I mean, and again, what's the difference? It's not an original concept. It is a bowdlerized version of a popular comic book, but it was something that got people interested.
Well,
and
because it lasted for 15 seasons with Supernatural, I'm just saying.
Oh, yeah. Well,
oh, really? I couldn't remember since you mentioned it a week or two ago. Yeah, I don't remember.
Yeah, but
it's last season. Let me have this, Philip. Let me
you
have
don't want me to be mean right now, Lilith, but, you know, it lasted for 15 seasons on, you know.
On the CW, that is actual feat. I'm just saying, back in the day when it was going on, to have 5 seasons of a WB show when after it turned into CW was a feat. Don't act like it got better numbers than S.H.I.E.L.D., so don't at me.
I'm just saying, you know, it's like Jay Sherman says, you know, God bless your little logo. We're coming in third as a triumph, you know? I mean, it's the
longest American running sci-fi series, so, you know, you took that away from, it is.
No, I'm not arguing it.
I'm looking at Phil. I
believe you. I'm just disgusted.
No, it took the title away from Supernatural, which had taken not Supernatural, Smallville, which had taken the title from X-Files, I think it was.
Maybe.
So yeah. Before the whole
the Supernatural sci-fi? It's
technically it is.
Really?
Like, sci-fi fantasy horror, they kind of
Okay, yeah. I was gonna say, I mean, yeah, it's in that ballpark.
Obviously, you've never watched Supernatural, so you don't know. We've had aliens, we've had plenty of weird off the wall things, ghost hunting, and things like that.
I mean, I wouldn't even call X-Files sci-fi.
Well, they do. People do.
That to me is those I would call fantasy more than sci-fi because it's the science. It's fictional.
The aliens. That's actually the whole thing, I guess, is why they think.
But there really weren't that many aliens in X-Files, you know?
It's the whole premise of the show, Charlie.
Well, no, Mulder's obsession with
his sister was abducted by aliens, thus kicked off his obsession with aliens.
Yes,
and his search for the truth of all things strange and weird, much like Barry Allen.
Which I understand, but what he actually found was almost never aliens, is my point.
But at the end, it was all aliens, and he has a hybrid baby, which we don't talk about in the X-Files fandom.
We don't. You know, once they made the movie, it got weird.
Which one?
Because they made the movie and then went back to the TV show.
Yeah, the first one. Okay.
Yeah, well, yeah, because that's what's weird. And that happened.
I had that on VHS. Oh my god, X-Files is so freaking old.
Yeah, that was like weird when they did that with Star Trek Next Generation because they did the movie and then they went back to the TV show, if I recall. Too.
Wait, what?
No, there were just other TV shows.
Yeah, the Star Trek universe is wide and deep. Hell.
Yeah. So, but that got that. See, and that to me, that's like the weird aspect of it. That's right. Yeah, because Voyager was on at the time because they had the Doctor show up in that. That was the cameo. The emergency medical hologram back before they decided to make them. Well, actually, now they have the emergency command hologram.
And I think at least for the first one or two of those Next Generation movies, I think the Deep Space Nine was still one too. Because didn't they pick up Worf?
Yeah, gotta pick up Worf for the movie.
Long live those Klingons! Damn it, hold the whole damn universe together.
Those Klingons. Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about comic books because there was a ton of number ones from some indie places that came out, and I'm sure you guys have some mainstream books to talk about. So.
Well, I don't have a number one from an indie book, but I do have. Actually, no, I do have a number one from an indie book, but not one I'm sure you read, because this was a download off of the DavidFWalker.com fan site.
Oh, he is killing it during the quarantine. By the way, guys, if you aren't reading those, you need to be.
Yes, but I'm going to tell you this right now: it's $2.99, which is cheap, and it is a really fun book to pick up. It is called
cheap and fun to pick up.
It's called One Fall. And you may remember before it came out, I was hyping it because I thought it sounded great. But because it was like one of these things, it didn't come to the comic shop and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, I'm just getting the cover here for you. It is, come on, there we go. It's Wrestlers, and if you like Wrestlers, and I know I do, and Supernatural Wrestlers, it's pretty awesome. Following the adventures of what's his name, King the Resurrector. I forget what his last name is, but anyway, I know his last name is King. That's right. And basically, it opens up. He's being a masked wrestler. His unsavory promoter puts him in a cage match with a werewolf. That's where you find out that, oh yeah, there's like all kinds of magic and monsters in this. The werewolf unmasks him, and then the werewolf kills him. But his thing is, his power is he dies and then he rises from the dead. That's like the curse of his family that gets passed down generation to generation. And they have this great little text bit at the very end where they explain his family history, how his father, who was very light-skinned, he started wrestling under the name Alibaba the Thief, and he was the first, so he was actually able to wrestle throughout the circuit as a light-skinned Arabic man. You can't really see it very well there, but yeah. Anyway, the text bit at the end is great. The story itself is really interesting. I don't think they've produced an issue 2 yet, which is unfortunate, but I highly recommend people, for $3 mere bucks, go to davidfwalker.com, buy that book, read that book, demand issue 2, and let's see what happens, because it's a good story. If you like the idea of monsters and wrestling, and the writing on it is so perfect for that wrestling cadence. If you like the way that wrestling announcers talk and promote things, it's really fun to read. So, highly recommend it. David F. Walker's One Fall, #1, available at davidfwalker.com. Digital download on a PDF.
Not sponsored, but hey, man.
Hey, David F. Walker doesn't have to sponsor.
Friend to the show. Friend to the show. It's fine.
I just like the guy's work. He is good. He is good at what he does.
Keeps that Bendis in line.
They are a great team. I really am sad about Wonder Comics not going forward, actually.
And Discombobulated is very good too. That's his that's his internet comic. That is makes you think. Okay. Anyway, Lilith, what was your #1 that you read? That was really cool.
I've read a lot of them. From Image, I read Commanders in Crisis because, well, it's 2020, guys. But it's not about that. It's by Steve Orlando and David Tinto. And it's all these books, I think, have probably a theme of, like, it's like a multiverse. Everybody is kind of like, because, I'm a DC girl at heart. So it's kind of like, plus Steve Orlando did Wonder Woman and Doom Patrol and stuff like that, and Martian Manhunter. So it's got that vibe. And the artwork by David Tinto is so good. And it's just really cool seeing them kind of like explore these different multiverses and reacting to things in a way that isn't DC-ish,
That's cool.
So yeah, I like Steve Orlando. I don't think he gets enough credit. So I just wanted to shout that out real quick. Commanders in Crisis was $4, and it's, like I said, it's an Image comic.
So that was #1.
Yeah, it's a #1.
Okay, cool.
Philip, did you read any indie books this week?
I did not have any indie books this week, but speaking of a good value, like you were talking about, I got it's a reprint, but I didn't have these issues. Batman Adventures, Nightwing Rising.
Yes, good for you.
It reprints the Batman Adventures, the Lost Years 1 through 5, and Batman Gotham Adventures #1. So it's it's basically the animated series version of how Dick Grayson becomes Nightwing, but
oh, cool!
It's like a small
without having to deal with all the Red Sky politics of Batman the animated series. If
exactly.
You know what I'm saying.
Yeah, and it's like a small. It's compared to a regular comic. It's one of these little ones. But again, good value. It's only like it was $10 for 6 issues. So
yeah, that's pretty good, especially because that writing is pretty tight too. So.
Oh yeah,
it's less than $2 an issue.
Exactly. Yeah,
DC
days.
could never in 2020.
In full color.
Hold the line at $199. What year was that?
It wasn't Hold the Line at $2.99.
No, they were
$199. Then it was $2.99. Yeah, back in the day.
I know. Well, that was pre-New 52 a little. Then they were just like, pay full price. Pay full price for our crap.
Yeah, and then
did anybody read Rorschach #1?
Yeah.
How do y'all feel about that? It's trying to make Watchmen the TV show canon. I didn't read it. I just heard bubbles and boos about it.
Well, again, I mean, it's a #1, and it wasn't a lot of answers.
Is it spun out of Doomsday Clock? Like, what's going on with this?
Well, it's like there's like a attempted political assassination, and like they run the prints, and they find it was some woman, and then they run the prints on this guy. Which, if you read the articles, it's I guess. The one guy, the suspect, was supposed to be like a weird homage to like Steve Ditko.
Okay.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But no, I think in the end they say this is the year 2020, but they're like, oh my god, the prints we have, they came back as Walter Kovacs or whatever, but he's
the original.
Yeah.
The original Rorschach.
So that was my theory. I was like, well, what if Dr. Manhattan didn't kill him? Maybe what if he just transported him to the future?
That would be interesting. Or maybe he just reassembled him in the future. That's the other interesting thing about when you think about a character like Dr. Manhattan. He could disassemble you, but he could probably reassemble you just as easily. In fact, arguably, that's what he does every time he teleports people.
Well, yeah, kind of. If you believe that's how certain forms of teleportation work, absolutely.
Or like you were saying, oh, what about all the blood and guts? It's like he half the time he never realizes about other human beings' limitations. I mean, what if he sent Rorschach through time, but he didn't go. He got messed up. Time traveling.
No, well, I think that. Well, I mean, that's the thing. It's like I think he absolutely could pop a guy.
Ew.
And then just go back and says, okay, well, here's that atom, here's that atom, here's that atom, there's this atom, and just put all those atoms right back together. Like I said, I would really love it if there's a subplot in there where suddenly in Vietnam there's 800 Viet Cong soldiers who suddenly just show up in Vietnam all of a sudden in this story because he decided, maybe I shouldn't have popped all those guys, and just everyone just suddenly is re-brought back. Because he just reassembles them all in 2020. Oh man, if they do want to tie it into the series, maybe that's what I want to say her name was Angela did when she becomes Dr. Manhattan. She said, let me just start by undoing all of this murder this guy did. And just put everyone back together. Let them all figure out what they're going to do next. But yeah, I mean, I was debating getting it because I was like, because I looked at it, I was like, really? Although that was a $4.99 book, because they charge you extra for the heavy cover
and the black label.
I don't.
Boo!
Yes,
black label has not been worth it for me.
And then
bad word.
I was debating getting the Killjoys #1.
I did get that actually.
I know, and that was the thing. I was looking at that, and I was like, "Oh, but Killjoys," which I heard good things about, and I flipped through Killjoys, and I liked it. But then I realized these are both comics about people shooting people, and that's not really my jam. Like I knew, I was buying into the hype of it, and I was like, and the hype of me wanted to get them both, but then I was like, but you know what? I'm going to be a responsible comic book reader. This isn't my jam. I'm going to put them both back, and I'm going to go pick up something else.
I
And
at least wanted to try Rorschach just because Tom King's writing it, and he's.
I'm over Tom King. Tom King is done for me for a
I
while.
mean, his Batman was hit or miss at times, but I mean, like his Mr. Miracle was. Good.
Yeah, he needs to get back to work on something like that. Like, Rorschach is just not his wheelhouse as far as that's why I was just surprised.
Yeah. Well, are you still reading Strange Adventures?
Nah.
No? Oh, okay.
I mean, I will. I just haven't really had the fortitude to do it right now.
Yeah.
There's so many other good things, like another multiverse book, Miranda and the Maelstrom. It's a Action Lab Comics book. I don't know if I talk about these guys a lot, but I love this imprint a lot. Like I said, it's just like, she's so cute. She's got a little shark dog named Noodles, and they're exploring the universe. She kind of looks like Starfire. It's kind of got this manga anime-esque kind of artwork vibe. It's written by Riley Deshelle Bell, and the artwork is by Koi Carrion. Yeah, Carrion. And it's a $4 book, but it's absolutely worth it. It's funny, it's got pathos, and it's got a little shark dog named Noodles. How could you not?
Aw, Noodles.
So it's Miranda and the Maelstrom?
Yep, number 1.
Okay.
Action Lab Comics.
I want to give him credit in
So here's what's weird. I got Bill and Ted Are Doomed issue 2. Number 2. I swear issue 1 said issue 1 of 2 movie prequel. Well, I mean, now it's apparently just issue 2. Because there's going to be an issue 3, and I can't wait that long.
I thought it was 4. I thought when they announced it was going to be 4 issues.
I don't know. When I was reading it, I feel almost certain, and I'll have to find my original number 1. I felt it said 1 of 2. So
your buddy Mandela told him that.
Yeah, but anyway, yes. So it's cool. It's fun. It's got some nice things here. I love Death. Death is
the best part.
Death is the standout, and it's funny because they go to the. It's like
he's getting a spin-off. Y'all know that, right?
What I love about it is Death is going to the metal concert, and the metal people are also very metal. And I just get the feeling like, that's like what makes you people think you're metal? I'm freaking Death, and.
Look at my scythe.
Yeah, he is pretty cool here. But yeah, the I forget what they call themselves. But the Death to False Metal, because they're at the Freezing Man.
Not Burning Man.
Freezing Man, the Norse Frozen Man festival, which is a heavy metal festival in which all other metal is felt to be subordinate to the most metal of metals, and it's interesting. I like it. I really enjoy it. Oh, we also get a nice little B plot about the good robot Bill and Ted having Station build them robot female companions, which I hope ends better than Bride of Frankenstein. You hope that the robot Bill and Ted are going to be better people than Frankenstein, but once you get into that, I need you to build me a mate kind of thing. It's like it's got a creep factor built in. So that's my only worry. But I can't wait another month to watch Bill and Ted. So probably me and my wife are going to rent that over the weekend and watch it. So hopefully we can talk about that next week.
Are you going to watch the first 2 in preparation, or are you just going to go in cold and watch that?
I know what happened in the first 2. But yeah, I can watch it from cold.
No, you drink a lot of apple juice. I was just asking. A lot of people did that.
Well, these are formative films. Okay.
I mean, it's formative for me too. It's my favorite time travel movies, not Back to the Future. So
I'm going to say this: I actually liked Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey.
Yes, yes. Okay, see. You might like Superman 3, but you got some taste sometimes. I get it.
I find them, in both cases, they're oft maligned. I
can't talk. I like 4.
Misunderstood. I've never seen 4,
John Cryer, come on.
No, I mean, I've seen bits of 4, but I've never actually watched it. You know, and I love Dolph Lundgren, which is why it's weird for me that I haven't watched it. But
Clark Kent and Superman.
I just like the message. I just don't like the execution. Like, he really pushed for it. It was his passion project. That's probably why it's my favorite. I really did Christopher Reeves as like just a cool human being.
Clark Kent and Superman going
what that opportunity of being Superman afforded him. So.
Come on, Clark Kent and Superman going on a double date. Come on.
They do? Oh, in Superman 4? Okay. Yeah. You know, I guess the idea of Superman stealing all of the Earth's nuclear weapons is...
It's a total Dr. Manhattan thing to do, man.
Exactly, it is. And to that extent, it's probably the kind of thing I'm going to love. It's like, oh, yeah, that's sort of like what, you know, Alan Moore would have stolen.
Well, remember a few years ago when we talked to Peter David, dumbass? He said his version of Superman 3, you know, Superman stands up for the UN and says, you know, I'm going to get rid of all nuclear weapons. And the next thing is, you know, the UN members going, wait, what? Get Lex Luthor on the phone.
Exactly.
Well, exactly. Yeah.
Somebody get Gene Hackman some damn money, please.
To be fair, it's like at that moment, it's like that's when Lex Luthor goes, see, I've been saying. It's like, you know, when Spider-Man goes bad, everyone's gonna be like, well, gee, Jonah, I guess we should have listened to you. It's like, I know, you all thought I was crazy, but he was a menace. I said it.
Nobody reads papers anymore, Jonah. Nobody reads.
Judge them by that Hitler mustache. Tell you what.
Yeah, well, you know, that's the problem. You gotta have the righteous stash. You can't do that little push broom. People don't like that.
I do want to. I know you guys are probably gonna want to save this for Super Connectivity, but I did want to shout out the best Marvel book this week that I read. Sorry, it's not you, Amazing Spider-Man number 50. It's actually gonna go to Immortal Hulk number 38 for me.
Oh,
I'm back on the bandwagon. So.
Immortal Hulk is fantastic. So no,
it was the best Marvel book, but I only read 4 Marvel books. So, and one of them was Hellions. So you know,
I'm gonna say Hellion.
Hellions number 5.
Hellions, X-Men, Hellion.
Yeah. Didn't that come out like 2 weeks ago?
Did it? I thought it came out this week. I got it this week.
Tristan, can you grab me that book on the counter that says Hellions by the microwave?
Or did you get the last issue? Maybe you're behind, Charlie. Yes, sir.
No, I got that like 2 weeks ago.
It was number 5 this week, as far as I know.
Yeah, just grab that book that's there.
Boy.
Yeah, let me see what it says. Hellions. Oh, I got number 3. Okay. So.
Oh. You're 2 weeks behind.
Oh, no. This is the old one. This isn't the one that I'm at. So, yeah, this is...
Boy.
Okay. Oh, wow. I thought they ended after 4, so that was my mistake. Okay. I did not know, because they wrapped it up at 4. I thought that 4 was the last one. So
maybe the end of that arc. They're still milking that stuff.
It's X-Men. They're milking it.
They're still.
So what happens in number 5? Let me see, because I might have. Maybe we did read the same one. Maybe we did. I'm not giving you that's new.
According to Diamond, it was this week.
It was this week. Okay. Yep. Okay. Well, that annoys me because I enjoyed Hellions. I thought it was. I thought it was limited.
I didn't like that it's, you know, everything's an storyline crossover now, so I'm just.
Oh yeah, I know. Yeah.
That was that. So that's why I said that was the weakest Marvel book of the week for me, definitely.
Everything's either part something of 22. Yes.
Okay. I'm sorry. We're talking Immortal Hulk. Let's talk Immortal Hulk, Lilith.
No, you guys can save it for Super Connectivity.
No, I mean,
did you like it? I mean,
like I said, I'm back on the bandwagon. I caught up all the books that I missed, and I don't know. It's just such a good book. It just deserves so much more praise than what it gets. Like the critics that like it. But I just feel like it hasn't hit critical mass for the, you know, for the regular comic reading book folk.
I'm gonna say this in all love, Lilith. I don't know if it's for the regular. I don't know if it's for the regular comic book reading folk, Lilith.
It should be. Like, Hulk is a great character, and I think he's very greatly misunderstood. And they really are fleshing him out, and that's what I think the regular comic book people should be reading this. If you think you like Hulk from the movies, boy, do I have a treat for you in these books.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's, you know, going into the Mindscape, which is the one thing that they've always struggled with the Hulk in his live action appearances. They did it a little bit in Marriage, which is where, you know, that was the big deal when they actually have Banner in the Mindscape and dealing with the Hulk. But, you know, they've never with the modern Hulk done a good Mindscape story.
Exactly.
Which is disappointing because to me that's half the Hulk. That's like the Banner in the Mindscape is really where it gets most interesting. And that, for what it's worth, in the talk about expanding Doctor Strange's role, that's what's going to be most interesting about the future of the Marvel Cinematic Universe if we do get some Hulk Mindscape stuff.
Give that poor sweet baby something to do. Mark Ruffalo.
Oh, Mark Ruffalo, yeah. Well,
oh no, Mark Ruffalo, get it.
The problem with Mark Ruffalo is they don't like to put him in the movies now because he's just going to spoil everything.
Yeah, that's what happens when you got a big mouth in Marvel. Tom Holland, looking at you, you get fake scripts too.
Yes. Yeah. Well, so long as he knows his lines for his scene. Yeah.
Gotta piecemeal it out.
Oh, but I mean, I don't know if we're gonna. Do you want to talk Immortal Hulk over on Super Connectivity more? Because I have my theory. Well,
no. Let's hear your theory. Let's talk.
All right.
Since Lilith liked it, we are gonna honor Lilith by discussing it.
All right. Yeah,
thank you.
Because we have plenty of other comics to discuss, like Captain America, unless you don't care about.
Oh yeah. Okay.
No. I mean, remember the issue opens with that flashback to, Brian Banner back in the day, yelling at little Bruce and stuff. Then when you're in the Mindscape, doesn't Joe look like Brian there? I mean, I know it's Banner's father, but still, doesn't he look more?
Oh, because
the projection in its purest form.
Yeah,
the up his stash game.
Yeah. Because it's in the Mindscape. It's in the Mindscape. He can look like anything. Because he even says to Bruce, he's like, "In here, why do I look like this? Why don't I look like Grey Hulk?"
Yeah. Well, you know what I find most fascinating about that is that Brian Banner isn't a traditional Brian Banner. They really I want to say they kind of went back to the Ang Lee Hulk with that, trying to make him look a little bit more crazy. Who was Brian Banner in Ang Lee's Hulk? I forget his name.
Nobody knows.
No. It's one of the two guys. It's not Busey, but the guy who looks like Busey.
I know who you're talking about, but it's
it's Busey and the guy that's not Busey, and So I really felt that they were going back to that. Nick Nolte, thank you. Nick Nolte is not.
Have you ever seen them in the same place at the same time?
No, and intentionally so, I'm sure. But Nick Nolte, yeah. So I think they were going for that Nick Nolte look there, which is weird because they haven't done that in the art style prior to this. Prior to this, they do a very traditional Brian Banner, and this was the first time they really break from that. And
I just didn't know if it was sliding time if they did that this show right now that took place in the 70s.
But of course, 70s wouldn't be in the right timeline for Bruce. Bruce isn't 47.
It would be more like the 90s on a sliding time scale, right?
Yeah, exactly. It's like Bruce is like Lilith's age.
Actually, that oh wow, poor thing. Hope
just honest. Honestly, actually, Bruce Banner is probably younger than Lilith. I mean,
yeah,
really.
At this point, actually, it would be. If it's a sliding time scale, it would be like the late 90s.
Oh yeah, I mean, doesn't it get depressing? We're all older than all these superheroes.
All our favorite heroes now. All of a sudden, remember when they were aging?
Yes.
Remember when you used to be younger than Batman or Superman?
But used to be younger than freaking Nightwing
or Ben Grimm. Yeah.
So but I see what you're saying because they do give him the righteous stash.
Yeah.
And,
it's the Mindscape. It can look like anything.
Yes. Although I don't think they have him in a Hawaiian shirt. That's the thing. It's they
didn't want to hit you over the head too hard with that anvil.
Yeah, I mean, that's a possibility where he is, although that's kind of the thing, and that's sort of the thing I point out, where that everyone else calls the classic, not really classic, but Incredible Hulk after the first Hulk books where they actually, the first Green Hulk, the dumb Hulk, they always call him the big guy. Whoa. But if you see Devil Hulk,
is that a Hawaiian shirt? Purple with yellow flowers on it?
Purple's not really Hawaiian.
I guess so.
More turquoisey.
No, I guess you know what? You're right. I didn't even. I don't have my book handy, so I didn't even notice that. Yeah.
Well, maybe.
Yeah. So there we go. But the thing is what I'm saying is that idea of I lost my train of thought. But okay. Yeah, dang it. Okay, someone else talk.
I mean, do you think maybe that's why Banner and Joe were at odds for so many years? I mean, he's always been at odds with all the Hulks, but I mean, especially with Joe, just because he, on some level, he reminded him of his father. You know, this powerful figure who just did whatever they wanted, even if it was hurting people.
Well, I mean, to be fair, what it is the fact that, and that's the thing. That's what I was going for, was that Devil Hulk calls Banner the big guy rather than the way everyone else calls that first Hulk the big guy, because in that sense, and it's all about who is the first Hulk, and the answer is actually Bruce is the first Hulk.
Oh yeah,
and here's the thing that's going to blow your mind: Bruce is his father. Bruce was always his father. Bruce became his father.
The worst fear of most men.
It's the worst fear of everyone, becoming your parent. It's in the bad way. You know, honestly, my dad was a great guy, but I also know his failings, and I also know when I emulate his failings, and those are the things that worry me the most. And the fact of the matter is that Bruce's father was a narcissist who broke things and was jealous and venial, and here's Bruce Banner, and he breaks things, and he's jealous, and he's venial.
Oh, what is Joe? What is the Gray Hulk? He took everything in his psyche and his personality that reminded him of his father, and he shoved it into the Gray Hulk.
Yeah, although, and again, but that's the thing. It's like,
no, the Hulk.
A divided house cannot stand, sir.
Well, no, and that's the idea. It's like he puts these qualities that he doesn't like of himself into these characters, but they're still in himself.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's what I always come back to. It's like, the man built bombs for a living.
Yeah,
the man was never a man looking to heal. He was always a man looking to destroy.
And again, why couldn't Samson integrate those personalities? Because Banner was fighting it. See, even when he seemed to accept it, there was a part of him that was still fighting it. Especially if the Gray Hulk was reminding, stuff it reminded him of his father. He didn't want to integrate that back in.
Well, exactly.
Like I said,
but
you need to be reading the Hulk. If you think you're a Hulk fan, you should be reading this right now.
Oh, I mean, it calls back to so many different eras of the Hulk.
I love it. Like, it's just such a love letter.
I mean, it hasn't been this good since Peter David.
And now here's the question that we get from this, because of course honestly, Samson giving the blow to the leader is just it's awesome in my mind. That the leader is so in his own head that he doesn't realize that the Samson that he's beaten up is actually still an active threat, which is indicative of all supervillains, that they're so in their own head, literally.
Oh yeah, he's a giant head, yeah.
That they don't realize what's going on, and the whole time in this mindscape, the leader thinks he's in control, and he's not. Which really opens up this question: is the leader the real villain, or is the one below all the real threat here? Mm-hmm. And are we going to see who that one below all is, and what this has to do with the Green Door and all that kind of stuff? I don't know if they're going to close the Green Door. I don't know what the end game of the Green Door is going to be. Because we do see that in the Immortal She-Hulk, which you should also pick up, kids. The leader tells Jen Walters that the door is now closed for her, but it's still called the Immortal She-Hulk. So, and based on what we're seeing here, I get the feeling he's not going to be in charge of the door after next issue. Now, what happens with the Devil Hulk and all of that stuff, that's going to be a whole other bag of hammers. They brought him back.
Well, I thought we already said that between you and me, I thought we already said this. And it's just like, eventually, if not before, when Al Ewing leaves the book, they're going to lock that door, and Brian Banner, whoever else is going to get locked in there. Yeah.
But that's what I disagree with you about, is I don't think they are going to. I think that is too good of a thing.
Yeah, I was going to say, that's way too much of a storytelling to shut off.
Yeah, especially since you always want to bring these characters back.
Yeah.
You're going to want to kill them again. And,
I mean, you can lock it and then have, I don't know, some kind of,
put some tape on that lock.
Pardon the pun, back door where you can, someone can open it at some future date.
Well, I mean, I imagine at some point it's going to be the old Ares argument, where it's like it's different for gods, and that's essentially what it is. Is like, you guys aren't humans anymore; you're gods now, and it's different for us. Yeah, we will die, and then at some point we'll be back because that's what the story demands. And, and I think what is the most interesting thing about the comic book gods is that they understand they're part of the story.
Mm-hmm.
As much as Deadpool likes to feel like he breaks the fourth wall, the gods are like, no, there is no wall. There's a story that is told, and we are part of that story, and this is what happens. And, they can hold their multiple histories and multiple incarnations and multiple expressions in their head very easily, in the same way that in the Immortal Hercules, when rather than climbing the Norse world tree, they go climb the Greek world tree because it's much nicer. It's got nymphs and mead, and it's a much nicer stroll to climb the Greek
world tree. With Dionysus for a minute,
exactly. It's like there's lots of world trees. You don't have to climb just because we're going to Asgard doesn't mean you have to climb the Norse world tree. So and that idea of holding those disparate concepts in your head, that's the selling point. So, yeah, I mean, I think that it's too good of a thing to just close that door. I think that basically when they come back, they go, woo, good. Thank goodness that's over. But they're not going to say, and now the door is closed forever. Because well, first off, obviously it's not. Even if you closed it, we all know that. Well, yeah, the next and last, of course, a writer needs it to be open.
But again, whatever is permanent in comics, yeah.
Exactly. So why bother closing the door when you don't have to? You just have to bring them all back.
Just shut it lightly.
Yeah, let's not kill anyone for another week.
Well, I mean, unless they...
And just this once, everyone lives.
It's sort of like, here's what I'm going to say. It's sort of like when Ben Grimm says, and I can never be Ben Grimm again. It's like, but can you though? Can you really? And to the point where now I think it's kind of a joke whenever Ben Grimm says, and I can never be Ben Grimm again.
Get the hat and the trench coat, it'll be fine.
Yeah, exactly. I am the Thing forever now. And it's like,
except for that one day a year when he's human, or...
Yeah, well, that's how they fix it, because they threaded the needle on his psychological problem with being the Thing.
Yes, one day a year he gets his rocks off.
Boom. And on that note...
That's all you need to have a baby Thing someday. Quick shout out. We only find them when we're dead. Lilith, you said you were going to pick up this. Have you done that yet?
I did.
You did.
I like it a lot. I'm feeling this. I just wish the critics were more gentle with this book. I don't think a lot of people are actually seeing the potential and the actual story and the motifs in it, because a lot of people just don't like this book, but I absolutely love it.
Really?
Yeah, critics are very harsh on this book, and I can't figure out why.
Yeah, I can't. I mean, I think the art is fantastic. I think the story is good. I think it's too rehashy. I think it has its own kind of aesthetic and vibe.
I mean, it's a package.
I'm guessing that it's like, okay, yes, the idea of mining a space god, that was, I guess, officially done in, arguably the first time they do Nowhere, but then I guess really you get that explicit in Guardians of the Galaxy, the movie. But still, the idea that then that becomes an industrial complex, that's not something that has been done before. So that's new. The idea that we're going to go into the deep space to find it. I mean, yeah, it has a very Moby Dicky vibe, which I actually enjoy, the idea of hunting the white whale. And there is this
that in and of itself is a very revealing journey.
Yes. And there is, of course, this parallel, I think, with the idea of those old whaling ships. So on all these levels, I think it hits all the right notes.
I think so too, but I just think a lot of people, it's just not things that people are like used to, I guess, or want to invest in. But
yeah,
I enjoyed it.
so.
I like the characters so far. I like the dynamics that are going on. I'm really digging it. Thank you for recommending it to me.
No problem. I'm glad we can enjoy this. I hope we can talk about it again on issue 3. Oh, by the way, did you read Ultraman?
No.
This is like 3 weeks ago. No, okay, that's fine.
I did want to shout out, since here at Capes and Lunatics, we are very much all about indie comics. I don't know if you guys know that Alternative Comics is actually separated their ways with Diamond.
Oh,
so,
yes,
okay.
yes.
Yeah, so definitely order from their website or on Etsy if you are following them. I love that they still print on newsprint. I love the little stories they the little collected editions that they do. Their limited runs. I just really
wait. Are they not coming back to the comic shops?
Pretty much no. As far for right now, they're not planning on it. Is what I
okay. Well, yeah, that worries me.
So you have to order direct from the website or the
Yeah, I'll ask my comic guy about that on Wednesday. And
yeah, I think you can get your comic book shop guys to order from them, but
yeah, because I have my regular books with those guys,
So yeah, they should be able to do that, but you're not just gonna be able to browse in the actual comic book shop unless you actually talk to your guy or order it directly from their website or off Etsy. So
okay,
just something to be aware of if you just are a casual alternative comics reader.
Okay.
Got to get those guys on the show one day, Phil.
All right, Lilith.
It's like I feel so called out right now.
Hey, Nightwing News. We got three weeks in a row. We're gonna have interviews. So shut up.
Well, that's good for Nightwing News.
How much more do you want me to do? All right. Are we done here?
Yes. Let's roll credits.
All right, so send your thoughts on everything we've discussed tonight. Email us, capesandlunatics@gmail.com, or call the voicemail 614-382-2737. That's 614-38-CAPES. And remember to follow Capes and Lunatics and all of our various shows on Facebook. We even have various Facebook groups, Twitter, Instagram. You can also find links to our YouTube channel where all of our shows, we have videos for all of our shows, links to our Patreon to talk all things Star Trek. And I just watched the season 3 premiere of Discovery today. Very good. And links to merch. Find everything.
Hydrated.
Find links. What the plans crave. All in one convenient place. It's Linktree, linktr.ee/capesandlunatics. And remember to support all of our sponsors. Tweaked Audio.
Get yourself some headphones.
High quality headphones, no less.
That's right. If you can't
use the coupon code Southgate.
Yes, for that and Hunt the Killer.
Yes, that coupon code will work as well. Help Michelle Gray solve the mystery.
That's right. And for those of you interested in podcasts, pick up Pod Life the book, Volume 1, now digital and paperback. And you can get that on Amazon. And when you go on Amazon, use the link for Southgate Media Group right down there in the show notes. Help us support this show, well, our many shows, the Southgate Media Group Network, and that strange figure in the mindscape, Rob Master Doom Southgate.
Make it rain, so says Master Doom. Nice mustache, Charlie. Why did your eye drift over to my box?
Lilith.
If you nerds want to hang out with me on the interwebs, you can find me on Twitter at Lilith Hellfire, over on the gram with the cool kids and your hip grandparents at Lilith Hellfire 86 and at Lilith Hellfire 69. Just joined TikTok. I'm Lilith Hellfire 69. So send me a follow. I'll follow back and show me what you got.
Felicia.
Would that be of any use to our podcast or no?
TikTok, I'm definitely too old for TikTok, but it's funny.
Oh, well, you're too old for it. Okay. Charlie Esser.
Well, if you're really old like me and would like to write to me in that old-fashioned email way, like we did before there were ticks and talks and just grandfather clocks, you can do so at superconnectivityblog@gmail.com. That's superconnectivityblog, all one word, @gmail.com. Of course, follow me on the Twitters. I live tweet the final episode, hopefully if I can stay up till 9:30 on Sunday, of Lovecraft Country at Charlie Esser. That's CHARLIESSER. Look for the 2 E's in the middle.
For quality.
Hey.
Thank you, Maz.
Hey, at me if you're up tweeting Lovecraft Country.
Okay, if I make it, I'm gonna try. I fell asleep last night. I was gonna do it last night, like last Sunday, and I'm like,
Charlie's awake and you're awake.
Yeah, I go to bed pretty early nowadays.
I know, Grandma. Anyway, thank you for joining us for a regular episode of Capes and Lunatics. For another week, well, we have been your Capes.
Ampersand.
Lunatics. Although we know it's really singular. I'm the lunatic. It's fine.
We're all back here. Yeah, we really got to get that Austin Powers done at the end of the year.
That's going to be wild.
Yeah, baby.
This was a long show.
Sorry, Charlie.
That's okay. I'll do my show short.
Who knew Wilf was going to jump back on the Immortal Hulk bandwagon?
Well,
I know, right?
I'm glad she did.
I'm glad she did too.
I just want more people to read it. Like, Hulk is such a good character that just is like, I don't know, he's become Flanderized.
Who knows what Wilf is here for? Oh, I know.
I'm here for